Are you sick and tired of gambling your hard-earned money on Madden and 2K packs? Well, look no further than my sponsor, MMOEXP, for the cheapest and most reliable Madden and 2K coins on the market. And of course, do not forget to use code Ferdy for 5% off. A link for their website is at the top of the description. What's going on, guys? Today we are looking at the best budget cards at each position currently here in Madden 23. Okay, so let's just get started here with the quarterbacks. And with it being later in the year now, and a lot of us have coin stacks, we are going to up the budget a little bit up to 150,000, but we are also going to have the 100,000 in the cheaper cards here as well. But getting started here at quarterback, I have the GOAT Tom Brady card. Still does get good abilities. I think, still gets pretty decent abilities with Gunslinger. None of his X factors are really worth it, but the Gunslinger, the set feet, the hot route, or the fearless, depending on what you want to do. I think I used to run, I think it was set feet with hot route, or maybe it was set feet with Gunslinger, and I think I would run, I ran protected on him, that's right. I ran Gunslinger, set feet, protected for 5 AP, which is still really good. I think if you're going to use the Brady card, you kind of need to use Gunslinger. That's why his newer cards have it kind of pre-baked. EA knows this. And for our other quarterbacks, just to name a couple others, we have Steve Young, we have Mark Brunell, who I think is also good with his Slinger 1 release. We have Aaron Rodgers, who's super budget. Like, if you're just getting started, you need a quarterback. I mean, he's going for what, 8,000 coins? Maybe like 14, okay, sure, but this is the cheapest, basically, usable QB right now in the game. Brunell is very similar. Brunell's like an upgraded version of the Rodgers, and then Steve Young, Slinger 3 release, and still does get, Gunslinger pass lead for 4 AP, which is not a bad setup for, about 100K. So those are our quarterbacks. I guess we'll kind of slip in Steve Young here as well. But yeah, let's move on to the next position. Okay, so now we have our cornerbacks, and right now there's actually some pretty decent budget cornerback options. Usually I would say overspend on your corners, but we have Amani, who was obviously a legend in last year's game with 95 speed at 6'2", good speed, good size. For 130K, I mean, it's going to be tough to beat what you're getting at the cornerback position, with also 1 AP pick artist and some pretty decent abilities, which is pretty crazy. At cornerback number 2, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put Fabian Moreau, who doesn't get, still does get abilities, which is nice, but it's really just for the 96 speed on this card. And yes, he also does hit both thresholds. Later in the year, we start seeing better budget cards. So Fabian Moreau is a prime example. It does also get a pretty, Falcons, Commanders, Giants, Team Chems. And then finally, we have Eli Apple. Might not be a fan favorite, but I do believe he should be on here with 1 AP pick artist at 6'1", with 95 speed and 97 acceleration. So those are our 3 cornerbacks. There's also guys like Nick McLeod. Tariq Woolen's also still a good option. So honestly, right now, there's a bunch of really solid budget cornerback options in MUT. Okay, so now we have our running backs. And here at running back, the first one I'm going to go with is Saquon Barkley. His card's going for about 150K right now, but still, really good abilities here on Saquon, as you're going to see right now. 94 speed's obviously good, has a good build, but it's the 1 AP evasive that you're able to get and also run tank with it or short in. With Saquon's build is obviously really nice. And by the way, I probably should say this. All of the Black History Month cards, I made a video on those cards earlier. If you're a budget, no money spend player, you should have all 5 of them in your lineup. They're that good. So if you don't know about the Black History Month stuff, go watch my video I posted earlier. If you already have the cards, then great. They're great for budget teams, no money spent teams, even God squads. These cards are super top tier, and you have to have them, again, completely free. But yeah, some other running backs I like are Breece Hall for about 100K. I also like Raheem's card. I'm going to put him actually into the lineup. But Raheem with 94 speed, 95 acceleration, a good amount of team chems. And we also have an even cheaper option with Matt Breida. And a fullback we'll throw in here is Reggie Gilliam. He's about 100K, but does get 1 AP honorary alignment. And for a fullback, that's obviously a pretty big deal. So we're going to put Gilliam here. We're going to put Gilliam right there. And then we're going to throw, I guess we'll put Raheem. Yeah, we'll go with Raheem. I spelled that wrong somehow. I'm going to go with Raheem, and we're going to put, I'll put Breida here as well. I feel like that makes more sense. And really, the Giants theme team, I'm noticing, very budget. They have Saquon, they have Breida, they have Nick McLeod, who I talked about, they have Fabian Moreau, they have Eli Apple. So the Giants theme team, potentially like a budget theme team option. Probably like their most expensive cards are like probably like Hodgins and probably like Herman Moore. But Giants theme team, pretty solid for what a lot of these cards go for. Okay, so here is our budget offensive line. Right now, Jason Kelce is right at 150K as far as the budget goes. His price should fall a little bit because tomorrow we're getting a brand new Jason Kelce, so do expect this card to maybe drop a little bit. but still 0 AP nasty streak. I know he might be a little bit expensive, but it is definitely worth it and will definitely help out your run game. He's got 87 speed, free nasty streak. The card's disgusting. Landon Dickerson doesn't get post up. We have Zion Johnson here with good stats. Evan Neal, 1 AP edge protector. Braxton Jones, 1 AP edge protector. And we also have a 30K option that also was a 1 AP edge protector. That's Andrew Thomas. And again, 2 more Giants join the list. 2 more Giants join the budget theme team. So yeah, that is our offensive line. Okay, so now we have our defensive linemen here at right end. We have Montez Sweat and Aaron Donald. Montez Sweat's going for about 150, Aaron Donald for about 100. At defensive tackle, we have Osa. Not even going to try to say his last name. The reason why he's on here is for that 1 AP under pressure, which is honestly done some things to me, and he's going for about 100K right now. Behind him, we have Richard Seymour, who I really like. Not only does Seymour, have, decent stats and not the best traits, but the reason why I have him here is for free defensive rally, one of the better abilities right now in the game. And just to show you how good this ability is, Darnell Dockett gets his ability for 1 AP. They didn't even give it to him for free. So I feel like these free defensive rallies, there's not many of them in the game right now. Only Simmons and Seymour get it. And for 70K, I think defensive rally is an ability that affects the whole defensive line. So I really like it. I think he's probably one of the more must-adds, or one of the more must-adds, honestly. That's going to be in today's lineup. And then at left end, we have Danielle Hunter. Good speed, 2 threshold, stuff like that. Then behind him, we have Most Feared Julius Peppers, who when he came out was the best in the game. Now he's become a little bit more outdated, but still, crazy size with pretty decent speed and decent traits for only about 70K on that card. So yeah, those are our defensive linemen. And going back over to offense, we have our tight ends. It's not going to take too long. We have OJ Howard, who obviously 6'6", 92 speed. Sign me up. What was his price again? His price, about 100K. Again, another giant joining the list, and that's Evan Ingram, who, does get some pretty good abilities. 1 AP short is really nice. He's 6'3", 91 speed at tight end. Sign me up. Again, another giant. Just if you're a budget guy, maybe build a Giants team. And we have Chigozyme Okonkwo. I believe I actually said his name right for the first time ever, but 6'3", 90 speed for about 20K is really nice. So those are our tight ends. Okay, so now we have our right outside linebacker, left outside linebacker, middle linebackers. I know you see Micah Parsons out of position, but for our 2 linebackers, I'm going to go with 200K options. We have Isaiah Simmons, who's, 6'4", 93 speed, a really good user with also some good tackling stats, 92 zone coverage. I really, really like on that card. Micah Parsons can also be a good user. Obviously, Micah can kind of play anywhere. He can be an edge rusher, could be a user. Can drop him into coverage. He's got good enough zone, even good man coverage, 92 speed for about 100K. And the abilities are also pretty solid on Micah. A little bit outdated, but still 1 AP lurker on the card's a nice option. We have Judon off the edge, who's pretty close to the budget. But if you don't want to spend that much on Judon, you can kind of get his budget counterpart. That's Trayvon Walker for about 66K. You kind of can see all the green here, and also does get 1 AP edge threat elite, which is, again, really nice. On the other side, we have Jonathan Castillas, who you may have got for free out of an NAT pack, but still 150. I like his ability to stop the run. I like his ability to rush the passer. Has good speed, 6 foot, 225. And then behind him, we have Lawrence Taylor, who is always good. 91 speed, 2 thresholds, perfect traits. And also, the abilities are a little bit outdated because of 2 AP edge threat. Trayvon Walker literally gets it better, but still, Lawrence Taylor for whatever he's going for, which was, what was it? About 100K, I think is always worth it. So those are our linebackers. Okay, and rounding out the defense, we have our safeties. And usually I say this for cornerback, that you should probably overspend at cornerback. But right now, there's a really bad selection of budget safeties. I really struggled to find good ones. Steve Atwater for 150K. Again, it's interesting because he's still selling for 200 right now. His price is at 150, so I guess you could find him for that. But there really isn't that many good budget options at safety right now in this game. If you're going to overspend or spend your coin somewhere, if you have a good BND option, that's a safety. For example, maybe Kareem Jackson, this card over here could be interesting to kind of pick, depending on what you need. But again, he's a little bit small. The abilities their free pick artist is nice, but really there isn't that many good budget safety options right now in the game. And usually that's how it is for cornerback. I think cornerback's in a good spot right now for the budget teams, but dude, safety, you might want to overspend because these options are a little bit subpar. Good abilities and stuff, but still, you're still kind of overpaying for cards that, in my opinion, are pretty mediocre for, what you're paying for. Look at the cornerbacks, for example. They have a 96 speed budget option. The safeties don't. And you can always play these cornerbacks out of position. There's still guys like Kyer Elam, who I like. You can always play, Tariq Woolen over the top if you need to. Things like that you're able to do, but right now the safeties are very, very weak. And finally, rounding out the offense, we have our wide receivers. So in the slot, I'm going to say Steve Smith Sr. His speed's a little bit outdated, but does still get that free short in elite. So as a slot option, he's still super top tier for about 150K. If you don't want to spend that much on Steve Smith, you don't have that many coins, Adam Thielen's a nice little budget version of Steve Smith. You might argue that he might even could be better, but you see the price on Thielen much cheaper, about half the price. Does get short in, short out for 1 AP. The speed a little bit low, but it's the abilities that carry, and of course it's always abilities over stats in this game. So Thielen could be a good budget option if you're not willing to spend the coin on Steve Smith. For outside receivers, we have 3 options. We have Christian Watson, who, 6'4", 94 speed, 97 acceleration, and of course good abilities. We also do have MVS, who's very similar to Christian Watson. Doesn't get the same abilities, but still pretty good with that 1 AP deep out at 6'4", 94 speed. Worse acceleration. That's why he's not. That's why he's not really starting. With him, we also have Quez on the other side. Quez Watkins a little bit shorter, but does have 2 better speed and also does get that 1 AP deep out elite. So at receiver, there's some pretty good budget options right now in the game. And there are some pretty good budget options in this game right now in general, honestly. There really, really is. And honestly, the moral of today's video is, I guess if you're a budget, no money spent player, build a Giants team, man, because there's a lot of Giants on here. Not at receiver, but receiver you could probably spend a little bit to make them elite. But there's a lot of good budget Giants in this game right now. They seem to be a pretty good... Look, 2 Giants here. I mean, no Giants here. Oh, I guess Kayvon Thibodeau would be an option. I mean, they even have Dane Belton, I believe, right? They get that Dane Belton card, who I guess could be budget, technically. Right, Dane Belton, 6'1", 93 speed. I mean, yeah, they have a bunch of budget cards, so maybe that's the moral of today's video. Build a Giants team if you are budget, no money spent. And, of course, getting speed boost in any way possible is a W. When you have a full theme team, you're able to get all those Black History Month cards, put them on a theme team, get 99 speed. Warwick Dunn, 98 speed, Anquan Bolden. So maybe that's what you got to do if you're a budget, no money spend player. But if I did miss anyone, drop a comment down below. And as always, I will see you boys in the next one.